Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're talking about Alephium mining. So we have a 1080 Ti and I've been mining on Alephium solo for around 13 hours and I've actually had some great success with it. So today's video we're just going to be going over the amount of chance it took to take these blocks and how profitable I was just solo mining Alephium only on one 1080 Ti just because power costs still are high in the UK. So we've actually had good success with solo mining Alephium, which I decided to do because the power cost actually dropped a little bit in the UK for the next month. So as you can see here, we have our Alephium miner set up. This is just pre-recorded after the fact because I can't record on this rig without messing up the OBS and mining at the same time. So we're having around 0.98 gigahash or 944 megahash on it. The power draw is around 90 to 92 watts. And we've got some overclock set in BZ Miner, which we'll cover later in the video. But let's head over to the computer and I'll show you what we've got in terms of blocks. So here we have our dashboard here. Now, Hero Miners doesn't really show the recent block rewards. It doesn't show you how many blocks you've hit overall. So this is obviously recorded after the fact because I turned it off to start recording. But if we go over to the Alephium Explorer, you can see that we had one reward there. And there's previous videos on my channel and we hit the blocks at 4.7% and 19%. And that was only after around 13 hours of mining. This payout is also from another block, but the pool mining was also rolled into that. So that's why you don't see it at 2.646 Alephium. Now that is the block reward right now because Hero Miners takes a slight fee of, if we scroll up here, let's see what the fee is. A 0.9% fee for solo mining. Now, if we look at the Block Explorer, we can see the actual effort is pretty good on the network. Overall, obviously, average is 99%, something like 100% is what you're really looking for. It was a bit lower down here. However, if we're looking just straight on the network right now, we can see that a lot of these blocks are in the green, which is very good because that means that our solo miners, and look, there's one solo miner that hit it at 18% there. So if you didn't know, on Hero Miners, you can explore this and you can see the solo miners by a little icon there. But some of them are going high percentages, like that one's 105. That one was 2.7, which is really lucky. If we keep going down, 0.8, that's really lucky as well. Anything basically under 100% is really lucky. This person got it after 0.1%, which is really extremely lucky. So Alephium's been good for solo mining so far. I don't know if I'm going to continue it, but here are my results on the solo mining. So as I said, I got 2 blocks after around 13 hours. So we're going to go into some calculations and see what it would have taken us to get those 2 blocks if we had had it at 100% effort, if that makes sense. And I also want to show you in my wallet. We can show you that it's my wallet because there's the balance available there. So we got paid out twice in the last day and the day before that. So I hit the 4.7% one yesterday and the 19% the day previous to that. So it's actually been very good for Alephium mining. Now, what would that have actually cost us in terms of actually going for 100% effort? Well, we can figure that out now. So if we type in our gigahash, which was 0.98, I think, over average, and the watts consumed is, let's just go for the highest figure, which is 93. Which I saw on there. So the pool fee is going to be 0.9 and I believe BZ Miner, which I was using, is 0.75. So if you click calculate here, if you can see that down there, it would have taken us 3 days to find 1 block on the network. And we would have been in the negatives around, 2 cents. But that is not my current power that I'm working with now. That's just for the videos. So even with that power, we'd still be in the negative on a 1080 Ti. However, I'm going to do some calculations that show you how much we've actually earned in terms of profitability on Alephium. So what we need to do is a calculation for kilowatts per hour times the amount of hours that we mined for. So we mined for 13 hours. I can verify that if you can just look up my wallet on the network or on Hero Miners and you can see the stats. So we mined for 13 hours and I want to make sure that you don't include the mining that we were doing earlier. So I've left it on overnight and we hadn't hit a block overnight. But for the 2 blocks, we hit it in 13 hours. So you take your power cost, which for me is 0.26. And then you divide that by the kilowatts per hour. So that would be 0.09, because that's what we're working with. We're working with 90 watts, if that makes sense. If it was 1 kilowatt per hour, then we'd be working with 1. So that's how much it would cost. Then we click equals and then times this number by however many hours we mined for, so 13 hours. And that gives us the price of how much electricity we used. So it'd be 37.55. Now, when we look at Alephium blocks, they're 2.67. So we got 2 blocks, so it's 5.34 Alephium. And if we put that into a calculator or converter here, you can see we're making $1.44. So all we do is $1.44 minus 0.37, I believe. And then that gives us our profitability. So our profitability right now is $1.07. So actually really good profitability when I think about it, because normally in the UK, the electricity prices are high, so we can't really mine over here. However, this has actually been very successful for Alephium mining. Now, if we actually input my actual cost here, it'll show us how much negative we should be in. So that would be 0.26. If we click enter, sorry, that needs to be put at 0.98 and this at 93. We'll worry about the pool fees later. So we'd be in the negative 35 cents, which would not be very good. So we've actually been very lucky on the network. Now, in terms of overclocks that we're working with, you can see this here. If we scroll down to BZ Miner, I know this is a clutter, but I've been doing so many videos lately, so I don't really know where everything is. I think it's this one. And we right click and click on edit. We can see that we're solo mining to this wallet address and the Hero Miner Stratum. Remember, this is only on one 1080 Ti, so I'm not overly putting too much hash rate on the Alephium network. I know somebody on Twitter said that I should move over to either a smaller pool or I should start my own node if I'm going to be adding more to the rigs, but I'm only mining with one 1080 Ti because it's on my recording rig, so that's what we got here. The overclock core lock is 1455. The memory lock is 810. The power limit is 200, but you can lower that so much just because Alephium is really efficient algorithm, so you can get it down to probably 90 watts, something like that. And then the fans, doesn't really matter, just how cool you want to keep it, I guess, is at 65. Now, I actually got these benchmarks from the Hashrate NO website, and I'll leave it linked in the description if you guys want to see some overclocks. If we scroll down, look for 1080 Ti, here we go. They actually say that it gives you 0.88 gigahash. However, we're actually getting 0.98 gigahash. So a pretty good increase of what they're showing here. Now remember, this is a medium overclock, so I'm sure that there's higher overclocks out there that you could use, but this one actually works really well for the 1080 Ti. And I just copied it off this miner options for BZ Miner. I think I edited the fan one in as well, just so I could run one fan. Because normally with the 1080 Ti's, you can't run both fans at the same time. You know, sometimes it only spins up one fan. And to counteract that, I would be using like FPGA overclocking software. But this one actually worked very well. So the OC fan speed is only 65. But I could lower that and let the GPU run a little hotter, but I just don't want to right now. And I was thinking about this the other day. There might actually be FPGA feasibility on Alephium mining just because it's Blake 3. I know Ironfish had Blake 3 as well. So FPGAs could be coming onto the Alephium network soon. However, if there is, I'll make a video about it. And I believe that Ironfish is actually going back to GPU mining. They're going to be cutting off FPGA and ASIC mineable for the future. I don't know what algorithm they're going to use. They're going to be putting it down to a vote soon in the Discord or something like that. So stick around and look for that, because Ironfish might be moving over to GPU mining for the foreseeable future. There's also some talks about Radiant getting their FPGAs, and maybe there's some Radiant miners coming out of Ice River. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more like this, then please let me know. I'll be solo mining Alephium for about a couple days before I go away, and then I'll probably show you the results on Twitter or on a shorts. So make sure you like the video and subscribe for more content like this.